Welcome back to another episode of YNS Live with NFL Thread. Here is the second set of interviews that we got at the NFL Thread Luncheon live from Vegas at Flanker.
And a special thank you to our sponsors. With John Hardy, thank you for bringing your pop-up shop. Thank you for honoring one of our own in Ramonda Jordan and the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Thank you to Waterloo Sparkling Water. Thank you, 21 Seeds. I mean, we just had so much fun. It was crazy with all of them. Thank you to Rocket Mortgage for coming in, especially taking on the flag football game. And definitely a thank you to our podcast sponsors, who I love, XOXO Gina, The Burn Factory, and Body Armor. Just what a great day.
I mean, really, it was such a great day. And if you guys missed the first episode, definitely go back, because Cynthia and I, we really talk about what this event was about and really some fun things that you guys do not want to miss. So go back and listen to last week's episode if you missed it. Thank you again for joining YNS Live with NFL.
Oh, yeah, and absolutely. And also, I did not mention UBS. Thank you to UBS. Thank you for all the great advice and leadership that you show us in your partnership.
Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread, here live from Vegas. We are at Flanker, and I'm here with Matt, John Hardy. I cannot wait to kind of dive into this, because I know we're doing stuff with Ramonda, which she doesn't know what we can say it here because she's not watching live.
Let's hope not.
Right, I know, because then Cynthia will kill me.
Too late, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, thank you again for sponsoring you guys. It's so awesome as we continue to do these events and really partner with people that have awesome stories, but also are doing really good things in the world, and see these events as not only, opportunity to network, but also, a purpose. Like, there's so many things that YNS Live, and especially with what Thread's doing, the LinkedIn for Women.
Yep.
When Cynthia said that you guys were coming on board, I said, oh, that's amazing. It's amazing. So please introduce yourselves, introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Just you, introduce who you
are.
And
the company.
And the company. Yes, yeah, you're right.
I'm Matt Tepper. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at John Hardy. I joined John Hardy about a little less than a year ago. And the reason I came was actually exactly what you're talking about, which is it's sort of one of these rare luxury brands. It's a luxury jewelry brand that has a purpose. And it's the reason we're here, is one of the core purpose pieces of our purpose is community. So we have an artisan community in Bali, and it has 500 artisans. They all work together. Some of them have been with us through 3 generations. So we have a daughter, a mother, and a grandmother. The grandmother actually just stopped working, but we had for a minute there, we had 3 generations of artisans working with us. And community is a big pillar for us. So honestly, it's our honor to be here. I think what Cynthia has created is really amazing.
It is. And I love what you just said, because again, it is about community. And I feel like so many, and I want to say corporations, but there's so much out there that it's just doesn't think about the story, right? They don't think about the story behind or why they started something. And everyone starts out as entrepreneurs, right? I mean, there's an idea, and then it grows. And a lot of times when it gets that big, there's something that's lost. And the fact that you guys are holding on to that, and that you're giving people purpose, right? I mean, mother, daughter, grandmother. Again, it's a good company to work for, because right, there's companies out there that it's like they might have a good meaning, they might have a good purpose, but they don't treat their employees with the same respect that maybe you would want. And so the fact that you guys are doing all of that, and I love that you said you joined because of the community aspect, because you saw the bigger purpose.
It's community and sustainability, actually. 2 things that I think are incredibly powerful, especially in luxury. The artisan community is super interesting because, like you say about treating employees, the average tenure, like the average amount of time that people have been with us in our artisan communities is 17 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
I
that
don't think I've been to a company where the average tenure is 17 years.
So take us through a little bit what that looks like. I mean, so if you can explain what kind of, like, for anyone that does not understand what an artisan community is and what that is about.
Yeah, well, it actually kind of starts with the origin of John Hardy, the brand. So it's we're 49 years old. So we've been around for a while. And that purpose has stayed with us the whole time. So John Hardy, the person who founded the brand back then, he was inspired by the community and the craftsmanship that exists in Bali.
Right.
And he was just a tourist, and he was just amazed by this rich history that Bali has around craftsmanship and artisanship. And that inspired him to start a jewelry brand that was based off of that. So all of the, some of our collections are hand woven, and these are all hand woven by artisans. Each
Right.
bracelet takes 15 hours to hand weave. Wow. And it's a craft. It's a craft. And I think it's becoming a more and more unique part of luxury, where it's not just about the design, it's actually about how it's made and who it's made by.
Right.
And the effort it takes to hand
The story
make.
behind it.
Yeah, and the story behind it.
That's beautiful. And so, again, so those guys, they're literally doing the work and loving what they're doing, that they're staying that long. You know, and that's what's so important. And so can you tell us where you were before you joined John Hardy?
Sure.
Can we go down that?
Yeah, I'm actually a purpose-driven marketer. So the previous company I was at was called Nutrafol. I don't know if you know, familiar with them?
Yep.
So it's hair growth supplements. And the purpose behind that brand was equally powerful, where hair loss for women in particular is a stigmatized conversation.
Yep.
It's just not talked about. It's more talked about now. Honestly, I think a lot because of Nutrafol.
Right.
We did a lot of work in trying to bring that.
You guys actually did. You did a really good job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, we worked really hard at that.
Yeah.
It's an important topic. And similar to John Hardy, these brands that mean something and create purpose and meaning in the world are just special.
Yeah,
there's so many brands right now that don't think about or don't even necessarily care about the impact they're having in the world.
Yep.
And from the very beginning, John Hardy was built into the company. We have the sustainability piece is super interesting. So he was working for I think it was like 5 or 10 years, and realized that when you make jewelry, you use a lot of water, and the impurities go into the water, which kills crops. So he actually we have an 8-story water purification plant in Bali that purifies all the water. But then the really cool part is it gets pumped up into reservoirs where we have fish, and then that feeds rice fields, which we grow rice on
So cool.
to feed the artisans. So the whole community is
that's
actually
amazing.
self-sustained in terms of food and life, and
that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And again, this is why stories are so important. Because if someone didn't know the background, again, just that part, someone's going to be like, wait, I need to go look at John Hardy.
Well, what's interesting is we don't tell that story right now.
Right.
So I think purpose-led brands, from my experience, have this interesting tension where when they're really founded authentically with a purpose, a lot of times the company and the founders in particular feel like talking about it sort of tarnishes the authenticity of the story itself.
Right.
And so this is a tension that I've worked with a lot over the years.
Right.
Where it's not necessarily about selling more things because the story is great.
Right.
It's about helping everybody understand that having a purpose to what you do is more meaningful.
No, and again, I do like literally talking my language, because that's so it's so important in so many things, and I think it's missed. It really is. And I do think it's gotten better and better. I think there's times that like pockets that you see it kind of growing out, and then something, another trend takes over. But if you stay with that root and really kind of, and people, you guys listening to this, that's what the point is. And that's.
I do think the
huge.
trend is an important part. So I do a lot of investing, and I've been very active in the entrepreneurial space. And I do think the trend of consumers is important in this.
Yep.
Where I actually think the consumers feel like purpose-led brands and stories are more meaningful to what they choose to buy. And that's creating a little bit more momentum, especially at the startup stage of purpose-led brands, because a lot of it just has to do with the economic pressures, where if I'm going to choose between two brands and one has a story that resonates with me and one that doesn't, I'm going to buy this one. That wasn't always the case. And so I think brands like John Hardy, when it was founded in the 70s, nobody cared. They just didn't.
Right,
It just
right.
wasn't
It's
the
just-
thing.
right,
And
right.
so John Hardy and the team did it because it was what they believed in and what was right.
Right.
I do think we're in this really nice moment culturally where that story matters to people.
It really does. It really does. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing here today, since Ramonda's not listening.
I don't know. Can I? What if she's listening? We don't know. Yeah, we're.
She might be doing it in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Can you check? Is there a way to see who's
can you
watching?
see if Ramonda's on there?
Yeah.
Ramonda, if you're on there, get off.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Perfect. Well done. We're really happy. So there's this whole thing came together in a really interesting way, where when we were introduced to Thread through a partner, and then we met with Cynthia, it just instantly the connection was there between community and John Hardy. And then as we continued the conversation, Cynthia very politely was like, hey, we were thinking about maybe doing a fundraiser for a breast cancer research fund.
Yes.
And it was perfect because we've been involved with them for years. That's a near and dear. It's a topic near and dear to our heart.
Okay.
So that was amazing. And then as we continued the conversation, and then we learned about Ramonda's story. It's really interesting, and I'll talk about this with when I talk with the group. But for me personally, that resonated. As COVID was coming up and things were closing down, my wife had a regularly scheduled mammogram, and we had a lot of conversations about whether she should go to that or not. And we decided that she should go to it. She went to the appointment. The next week, everything shut down. So if she hadn't gone in that week, everything would have shut down. And that appointment led us to a tough journey and tough call where we found out that she actually had breast cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, and if she hadn't gone in, she would not have found that out.
Right.
So she actually, it's a really tough story for another day. During COVID, she had to go through a protocol, but kind of alone, because I could drive her, but I wasn't allowed to go in with her, which was really tough. Really tough. She was actually the first person to receive surgery post quarantine in Long Island, where we live.
Oh, we're in Long Island. We'll talk about that later.
Fair enough. But the reason that Ramonda's story is so personally meaningful to me is I believe very strongly in the work we do with Breast Cancer Awareness Research Fund and how that money goes to cancer research. But the early detection part of it is so important. It's so important. The work that she and people like her are doing, it's saving lives. It's one of those things that, if you really detect it early enough, you can save lives.
Right. No, and I mean, again, so many things to this, right? And it's the fact that what you guys are doing as a company, but then also something personal to you. Again, that's why it's so important for people to talk when they meet. There's so many people close things off because they're like, oh, this is not an appropriate conversation for a business meeting, or I don't want to spill my, I'm not having a great day. And no, you don't need to be the person that's like constantly doing this, but it's okay to mention something, hey, and I think that that's so lost in corporate America because we all go through stuff. And there's things happening behind closed doors that people don't know. And if we just had a little bit more humanity.
That's it.
That is it.
I have this conversation with our CEO, who I love all the time. My wife actually, just because we're talking about it, she had a potential scare like a couple of weeks ago. We actually just got the results back last week, and fortunately it was benign.
Oh, good.
But my CEO was just so human about it.
Right.
Asking about it and saying, he just was human about it. And I said to him, I really appreciate the humanity that you bring to the workplace. And
you're coming to a new job, but that is going to be a huge trauma for you.
Right.
That she's going through this again.
We're totally aware of it.
And it's so important. And that is one thing that we need to bring back to corporate America. We really need to bring that humanity back. So I so appreciate you sharing that story. Love that you're here. We'll talk where you are in Long Island. We'll talk off camera. You guys don't need to go down all of that. But thank you so much for what you guys are doing. I mean, John Hardy as a brand, but also you coming with your story and why this event is important to you. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. So thank you again, you guys, for watching YNS Live with NFL Thread here live from Flanker in Vegas. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. I'm going to have you introduce yourself so everyone can say, but I'm so excited to have you back.
I'm excited to be here. I'm Tamala Wilson. I am a proud board member of Off the Field NFL Wives Association. I work in the financial industry for a firm called Bridgeway Capital Management. I'm also an ordained minister and actually Reverend Dr. Wilson. So,
you are, I know. And you guys have seen, you have been on a number of times, which is just so good every year to see this beautiful smile and what you're doing. What you do for Off the Field.
Yes, I love
do you want to give us a little snippet of what we're doing tomorrow?
Yeah, so the fashion show is going to be lovely. I am walking. That's not why it's going to be lovely, but
yes, it is going to be lovely because you're walking, you strut yourself. I've seen you. You're so good.
I love it. I may be retiring soon, but right now I'm still walking the fashion show, walking the runway. So that'll be fabulous. Ramonda and Sharice are the chairs, and they are just doing an amazing job. And Las Vegas has been a different type of fashion show, but it's going to be I think especially fabulous. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got SWV performing because one of their members is one of our members, so Taj George. So we're excited about that. And just a lot of things going on. And then I'm personally trying to promote our conference that's coming up.
Nice.
That'll be in April 18th through the 20th in the fabulous New Orleans. And so it's going to be at the Four Seasons Hotel, April 18th through the 20th, and we're really excited to welcome the ladies to that, which is also a precursor to the next Super Bowl, which will be in New Orleans. So we're trying
I love that.
Yeah, have
Because
a little synergy.
How many years have you been with Off the Field?
Oh my God, it's been at least 8 years. I've been on the board. I was off the field.
You've always
10
been a
years.
member, yes.
I've been a member. I'm a lifetime member. And I'm a different kind of member. I am actually, when I joined, I was a wife. But now I am an ex-wife, but I am a lifetime member, and I remain on the board. And part of the reason I remain on the board is obviously I hope that I have something to offer to the ladies, but also modeling for them that this organization is about sisterhood. And so, life happens. And even if it happens, we still support you and welcome you. And so I am a living testament of that as a board member. So
yes,
yeah.
thank you. And again, it's always so wonderful. You do so much for your community as an ordained minister.
Yeah.
You bring it, and I say this every time, the energy at these events, the love that, all of you guys bring is so special. And I'm, always so honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, we love being a part of your podcast, and I'm actually going to be starting a podcast. I go live on Instagram a lot.
Yes, you do. I love it. Yes.
Reverend, you come on sometimes.
I do.
I love it. So Reverend Dr. Spice is my handle on Instagram, and I'm actually starting a podcast called The Spice of Life, and Che Caldwell, who is also one of our members, Nishay, she's going to be kind of being my COO and helping me. So
nice.
She has a great business model that ladies, if you're thinking about doing something, or men, if you're thinking about doing something and you need that kind of back office support, one of our members offers it, and she's lovely to work with, and so I'm excited about that as well.
But and that's what's such a beautiful thing about, like, if you guys are watching this, you're not a part of Thread or Off the Field. This is what you hear about, how you guys can support each other.
Exactly.
How you can support each other if you're moving, how you can support each other in business, how you can support each other in life.
Yes.
And that's what the beautiful thing about this community is. We just talked about this with Matt from John Hardy, the CMO, about community.
Right.
It really is about sticking together and uplifting each other. So thank you
is.
for always joining.
Yeah,
and
I love
can't
it.
wait to see, can you tell us a little bit what you're wearing?
So I'm wearing Kate Spade. I feel like I'm at the Oscars or something. I'll be wearing Kate Spade. And so
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I always do kind of a feminine thing. I'm not as young as some of our members, but I love feminine. A little bit sexy, but a lot feminine. I am a minister, so we got to keep it classy. So, but I love it. Yes, I'm excited, and really, this year has gone exceptionally well. Kudos to our board member, Brittany, because she's handling the models. Ramonda has always had that, and she's done a fabulous job too. But Brittany, I am a woman of a certain age and a certain body type, so it's lovely to go in and have stuff picked for you that works
wonderful.
on the first go. All 3 of my outfits that were picked for me worked, so I had to choose.
Oh, that's amazing.
Normally I have to just find something, but this year I
Right.
got to choose, and it was lovely.
Oh, and I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
And we're actually not live streaming like we usually do. We're not live streaming, so you guys don't have to catch it later.
Yes.
But I'm so excited for
Yeah,
that.
it's going to be wonderful.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you as
You
well.
too. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Yes, take
Bye,
care.
everybody.
Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live from Vegas. We are at Flanker, and we have one of our, again, Hagar, you're going to be on modeling, you're on the board, you have 5 kids, you used to be a competitive swimmer, you're a doctor. This is one that last year I was like, wait, what?
What am I
Wait,
doing?
what? Wait, what? I need to step my game up because you are
Doing a lot.
you are doing a lot. But what I always say, when people say to me, you do a lot, how do you do it all? And a lot of times it just flows. It's what I'm meant to do. There's times where something's not flowing and I'm like, okay, let me pray on this, what is happening. But so take us through, I know we're going to talk about the board, but like if you can take us through a little bit of the flow, like how you keep it all together. I know your wonderful husband is really helps as well.
Yes, he is. So I think we found a good balance. We always say that this is a season of grace for our life. So just when we think we can't do something or can't overcome something, God extends us just a bit more grace just to keep going. So that's been time and time again the story of our life, especially the past few years, in raising 5 little kids, 7 and under, in my medical training, as he's pursuing his master's degree. So
that's right. He's pursuing his master's degree.
So it's a lot. We've got a busy household, but the most fun.
I was going to say love and fun. I mean, both of you guys, you feel the love and fun.
Yes.
And you do. One of the things that I love so much, and I think this is what says about you. So, and then we're going to go on to the board, but you guys are very intentional with how you spend your time and what you do, and it's not like an uber organized where it's like, oh my gosh, we have to do. It's like, let's just flow. And as you said, you give yourself grace at this time. 7 kids under the age of 5. I mean,
oh Lord, you added 2 more to me.
I mean 7. I did that. Well, I just did my dyslexic thing. I'm dyslexic, so I just dyslexiated it up. I just did that.
I was like, oh gosh, is this a foreshadowing?
Now you're going to have 7 kids. 5 kids under 7. But that is something that's so important for people to hear, because a lot of us, it's like, okay, how can we be better people? And it's just giving yourself grace.
Yes, 100%. I think if we've learned anything in this time with the kids is they definitely humble you. So just when you think you've got it down for parenting, they shake things up and you figure out, nope, I don't have it down. Let me figure out how to get better. But I think we've realized that as long as we're intentional with every day and we share with them love and we teach them kindness and honoring God's word, then that's, we've done our job.
Yes. So. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the board.
Yes, let's do it. So I have the pleasure of recently joining the Off the Field NFL Wives Association board. So I was very thankful for the opportunity. I stand as the chair of development and community services now. So I'd say for the past 3 months, it's just been phenomenal. Just the amount of partnerships that we've been able to come alongside and just the power of what we're doing up ahead. So just to give you an example, so we met with USA Swimming just a couple weeks ago to talk about what it would look like for a partnership between them and us to try to encourage safe swim. So what would that partnership look like for the NFL to come alongside USA Swimming? So they're champions with our champions. So that's something we're excited about. So I'm thinking within the next year or so that campaign will be pushed forward. So that's a blessing. We made a partnership with the Pro-Retired Football Players Association. That's a tough one. But they have just been phenomenal to work alongside. So they offer some benefits that came together post the last collective bargaining agreement. So they've got a reach of about 14,000 members. So we definitely have expanded our reach on our platform. So we can't wait to see what's to come.
That's amazing. Yes. And are you walking tomorrow?
I am walking tomorrow. And every year I'm like, what am I doing? But it's just so much fun.
I was going to say, you do such an amazing job.
Oh, you're just joshing me. But thank you so much.
No, I am not. You bring it.
It's so much fun. Just the sisterhood and what goes on behind the scenes and prep of the fashion show, just to get a chance to be a part of the planning process this year. So I can't wait.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're wearing?
I have no idea. I'm going after this to figure that out. But I'm hoping it'll be good. I know it's going to be Neiman Marcus. I just don't know.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, again, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
But I love that they also, that you said yes to the board because you can bring so much.
Yes.
And again, it's just another thing, but you woven it into your life.
Yes. I more think of it as them blessing me and having me the opportunity for me to join them. So they're giving me a lot more than what I'm giving them. So I'm thankful to be a part of it.
And that's why it's so important to say yes at times, to say no at times when you know that you can't, it's not serving you.
Yes.
But there's things that sometimes it's like, let me pray on that, let me think.
It extends you, it pushes you, but it's it's for you and it's for your purpose.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
I love connecting every Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Right. Thank you again for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread. And I'm going to be yelling when you're on the...
Thank you. I need a fan. One fan.
Oh, I'm going to be yelling. And I'll bring my son to be screaming there too for you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
Thank you again. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live from Vegas. And I'm going to actually shout out all the sponsors, XOXO Gina, Rocket Mortgage, Waterloo, John Hardy, 21 Seeds, you guys have heard some of these stories already. We have, obviously, I mean, this is a thread event. UBS, Off the Field, thank you guys for always supporting. Shutterstock is always here taking pictures. We have Body Armor, Burn Factory. Again, you guys have heard a lot of these stories. And, just thank you for tuning in, because bringing the energy and having people listen to the stories are what connect us. So I'm going to have you introduce yourself to our next guest.
Absolutely. So my name is Wanda Ware. I provide real estate services to many families within the NFL.
And so what brings you to the event?
So I am so excited. I love coming to the NFL. I mean, coming to the Super Bowl. I love being involved with sports and assisting families with their real estate needs and their relocation needs. So you put fashion together along with the women and the NFL, and I'm here.
Wonderful. Tell people where they can find you.
So you can find me. I'm based out of Jacksonville, Florida, and I also have a practice in Atlanta, Georgia.
And so do you have a Instagram? Do you have anything?
Yeah, so I'm just Wanda Ware.
Why don't
On
you spell
Instagram,
it? Yep, spell it. for them.
WandaWare, or you can find me at Warehouse, WareHou, no S, LLC.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for joining, and
Yeah.
thank you for supporting Thread. We really appreciate it.
I'm excited,
Yes.
excited for the fashion show tomorrow. So thank
Now
you.
you're going to be there. You're going to be yelling and screaming.
I'm going
and
to be there participating and looking and assisting some of the ladies with wardrobing, so I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
so that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you again
Thank
for joining.
you.
And I'll see you, I'm sure, tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
Thank you so much for
Good to
joining
see you again.
YNS Live with NFL Thread. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. One of our big sponsors, UBS, Carrie. I mean, we've had Carrie. You've gone on and told your story about why financial literacy is so important. And so I know the listeners have heard your whole story. You were on last year. I want to say it was last year.
Yeah, last
Was
year,
right?
last spring. Yes,
Yes.
a little less than a year ago.
And now we have a new baby coming on, which I know we're probably not supposed to talk about, but we are, because I'm a mom and I love it. But so just tell us what you've been doing. I mean,
Yeah,
really.
so we're so thrilled to be here. This is the 6th year that UBS has been involved with NFL Thread in our
Yes.
3rd Super Bowl luncheon. So we're just so happy to support the NFL Thread. I think the mission of Thread and the mission of UBS to support those in the spotlight, athletes and entertainers, to support women on their financial journeys, so much alignment there. So we're just really happy to be here again.
I mean, and one of the things that I was fascinated, and we talked about this afterwards, I'm not that great with my financial literacy, right? And so I think Cynthia and I had like questions, because I was like, let me take this from an aspect of, my husband has always done that stuff. Now I do have a full-time job, and I need to start becoming more aware of that, because I've always kind of just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let you do that. And you shared a lot of statistics that I thought were really interesting. I remember being like, wow, okay, I don't want to be one of those statistics anymore. I don't want to. I want to have more knowledge. So if you can take us through a little bit of what you're doing with the women,
Sure.
With UBS, I think is really important for everyone to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal at UBS with the women's segment is threefold. It's to bring more women to the financial table, to help and support women who are at the financial table, and then ultimately to make that table a more inclusive place for women. So we really want to meet women wherever they are on their financial journey, whether they're just getting started and sort of recognizing the importance of being involved, or they're extremely involved in sort of planning for their next life chapter. But to your point, it's never too late
Right.
to get involved, and there's always things that everyone, women and men, can be doing to take that next step, to have a good handle on your financial life, because the reality, whether we like it or not, is money influences so much of our lives, how we live our lives, how we take care of our families, how we get from place to place. So it's really important to have that good handle on it, so that you're prepared for whatever life might bring.
Right. And I think one of the things that you brought up that was really important is a lot of times people think, okay, I just go to the bank and I'm good, but if they don't have a certain amount. But you always say start before you actually get there, because it's really important to have that handle before you start growing your portfolio.
Absolutely. And I think, it's never too early or too late to get started. Whether you're just starting out and thinking about, that first paycheck, or paying down student debt, or understanding, how a credit card works, so that you don't, impact your credit score, all the way up to, you know, building and accumulating and preserving wealth, thinking about your legacy for your loved ones. There's so many things that you can do, I think, along the way that are really, really important, from having those difficult conversations with yourself or with a partner or spouse, if you're married, with, you know, aging loved ones, with children, starting children young, thinking about money smart habits. There's so many things that, you know, we at UBS are really focused on helping people with, and sort of trying to meet you where you are. So whatever it is that you're looking to do, whether it's taking that first step, thinking about developing a financial plan, maybe you have a very specific goal in mind. You'd like to start a business, or you'd like to, you know, buy your parents a home. How can we help you do that? And then even think beyond the, you know, here and now, well into the future, so that you're prepared for a long time.
I love that. Now, where can people, like, if they're like, okay, I need this, like, where can they find you?
Yeah,
and get in
absolutely.
contact with you?
So our main website is ubs.com/women. Very easy to remember, ubs.com/women. And then I'm also really excited to share that we're going to be doing a virtual financial education webinar in March during Women's History Month for all NFL Thread members. So Cynthia Zordich will share more about that in the coming days.
Thread,
But we definitely encourage everyone to join that. And we'll go into some really tactical tips and tools and ideas and steps that everyone can take that are really relevant to each person and each woman on her financial journey.
I love that. Well, thank you again. Always
Thanks
for
so much,
joining
Juliet.
YNS
Great to be
Live
with
with
you.
NFL Thread, and congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
So
Thanks
happy
so
for
much.
you.
Great to be here.
Take care. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. We have a very special guest, Brittany. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You have the best smile.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just like
Thank
radiant.
you. Thank
so,
you.
what brings you to NFL Thread?
So, my brother is a former NFL player.
And we've had him on the podcast, and I love your brother.
Yes.
Love your brother.
He is definitely a lovable guy.
He is. He is.
Yes. So I was just invited here to network and to, I was talking to Cynthia, and she was like, hey, I need you to go get on the podcast. I said, okay, let's do it.
Right.
Lights, camera, action.
Yes, exactly.
So I have a nonprofit. It's called Unapologetically Blessed Teen Center. So where we help at-risk youth within the inner city. It's considered to be like a safe haven, an alternative to running the streets. It's a answer to a problem that we see within the community with high criminalization rates within the Black and Brown community, teen pregnancies, helping them with job readiness tools. Different things like that, and also providing housing as well, because a lot of the children within the different school districts are actually living in shelters.
Okay, and where are you guys headquartered?
Los Angeles, California.
You are, okay.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
So they can find me. I am on Instagram at wonderfully_made_BRITT. And then for the
Foundation.
yes, the foundations, it is at UB Teen Center.
And how did you get involved?
I've been working with children for a few years. It's been a minute.
Okay.
And a few years ago when I was working at a school, I love the kids. I love the teenagers. I always have, always will. And a few of my kiddos got into trouble. It was a day after football season had ended. And the trouble that they got into was they went and robbed someone's house.
Okay.
And my children, they knew not to lie to Miss Price. I said, why? Like, why? And the most vulnerable answer was because mom couldn't afford the rent. Lights were out. They needed some money. And then the other one was like, I was bored. So we found a quick fix for them. And then I'm like, okay, Lord, this is a problem. If these are the young men here, how many more are present at different schools? So then I'm like, I need an answer to this problem. And so creating a safe place for these children to come after school when they don't have anything else, to do something productive that can help them thrive in life.
Wow. I mean, beautiful work. Beautiful
Thank you.
work. And when you, as you said, you married the two. It was like, can you take us through a little bit of the process of, okay, starting the nonprofit? Because there's so many people that have ideas and they don't know where to go. And you can just kind of give us like the high level of like, okay, you have an idea. What is like the next step someone can take?
When you have an idea, is to execute. it's sometimes it just takes for you to take that one step. Once you take that first step, everything else becomes brighter. You know, you never get into the room until you open the door. Sometimes all it takes for you to do is open the door, and then you'll find the proper place to sit. I knew that this is something that I needed to do. And although I couldn't, honestly, I didn't have someone to do the 501(c) for me. I didn't have anyone to give me funding, which I'm still looking for. But I read a book. I read. And it was a drive. It was more than me. I knew that it's more than me. Like, kids depended on it. And so that was what was pushing me forward to start this, to do this, to be that answer to them that they really need.
Beautiful. And I have to say, did you guys just witness that? Did you witness one question and where that passion and where you are in what you're supposed to be doing? Because you, as you said, you took that one step. And you're like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you just saw that. As you expressed that, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. So again, so people can find you. So if they're like, I want to get involved, I want to help, I want to be the person that helps with the funding, how do they get in contact with you so they can do that?
If you would like to help, my phone number is, you can reach me directly at 213-718-0584. My name is Brittany Price. I am on Instagram at wonderfullymade_BRITT Brit on Instagram. And please feel free to reach out to me if you would love to donate, if you would love to help with the cause. Always looking for investors, found like everything.
I love it. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for your
joining.
time.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank
This
you.
is
And thank you for
amazing.
sharing you. Really, thank you for opening up and I mean, just you connected. Your story connected. And there's going to be people that are like, you know what? I need to do something to help because they felt that.
Yeah.
They felt you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And I feel you
sorry.
standing here right next to me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread here live from Vegas at Flanker. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live from Vegas at Flanker and Queen V, oh my God, I am obsessed with this woman sitting next to me.
Good afternoon.
So many reasons. I mean, you've been on the podcast.
Yes.
I've come to your live show.
Yes.
Even brought my husband,
Check.
Dan, if you're watching, right? I mean, incredible. But I want to go back to the first time I met you.
When I was shy and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about on your podcast.
Yes. So at the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Right. So well, you can say hi first. I'm like talking
Hi.
at you.
Hi. No, please.
So this is Bill Cowher's wife, and Queen has a voice, and her writing is like, her music is, I mean, it literally, I can like, I think a couple of your songs I can literally like regurgitate because they really, they're catchy and good and just feel good, and there's a story, and it's beautiful. So at the Hall of Fame, it was one of your first events.
Yes,
Right? It was
yes.
one of your first events. You
Yes.
and Bill have been married for over 10 years?
We'll be married 10 years this year, but that was like the first fashion show luncheon I went to
Right.
at the Hall of Fame event. You know, it's all, the NFL culture is still very new to me, even
Right.
though we've been married 10 years, but still there are these things that I just keep coming like in like talking with you or
Right.
with Cynthia Zordich, and just so much still yet to learn, but it's been an amazing experience.
And so that's how she came into our lives, and it was like, we need to have you on the podcast because you're doing this music, you know, for many years. And I mean, again, you can go and look for the live, you know, it was a beautiful story. I mean, I think we talked for over an hour. And then Cynthia said to me, hey, can you ask V if she can sing? And I was like, oh yeah, oh my God, I'll be so excited to see if she can do the national anthem. And then she contacted you.
Yes.
So what was like your feeling, you know, I mean, because again, you said it's new to you, but it's not, but then you feel the community of these women, right?
I do, and I mean, two of my stepdaughters are married to professional athletes. Megan married to Kevin Westgarth, who was an NHL player, won the Cup with the Kings, played for several teams, and Lindsay married Ryan Kelly, who played at Duke, won the championship there, played at the Lakers with Kobe, and now he's in Japan. So
Right.
I knew a little bit of this community of culture from them,
Right.
but myself as a wife, it was brand new, but it's been the most incredible experience. I've met some of the most incredible people through the NFL and the hall, and yourself included.
Right.
And it's just been wonderful. So,
And it is, but so we talked about this on the podcast, coming into a community that is so tight,
Yes.
and so tightly knit, and being like, okay, wait, I don't know how to kind of navigate this. I mean, even me, who's not, and I mean, some people are like, wait, who's your husband? I'm like, no. I'm just the podcast lady. I'm just the podcast lady.
The great podcast.
Oh, so sweet. But this community is really a beautiful community, but yes, can seem very intimidating if you allow it to continue that. But if you allow yourself just to be like, let me take a breath and join, and
just be yourself.
And be yourself.
Right. So, I mean, that's the one thing we all can do better than anybody else, is be ourselves.
Exactly.
Right? Like, everybody can do something, and that's it. So, but
Yeah.
it's been an adventure, and even just being here at Super Bowl, and
Right.
this is my first, thread event or, off the field event. So to sing the national anthem, it's a huge honor. It always is, but now to do it within this scenario, I'm over the moon.
And I can't wait to hear it. Oh
boy.
my God,
Oh,
I can't
boy.
wait. Because
I better go get ready now with that lead up.
But where can people find you?
queenv.com, that's queen, and then just the letter V like Victory, or Veronica. Queenv.com, I'm on all the socials, so yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
thank
it.
you
Thank
again.
you.
Oh my
Great
God.
to see you.
Oh my God. You too. And
I'll
cannot
see you
wait.
out there.
Yes, I
Enjoy.
will. I'll be screaming, but not
Thank you.
interrupting.
You can scream along. Awesome.
So
Thank
good to see
you.
you. Oh my God, again.
Thank you.
Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread here live on Fireside. I have not once introduced myself. I'm Juliette Hahn for the ones that don't know that. I really totally have not done that. It's terrible. I'm here with Asia, who is off the field. I mean, let's talk.
Yes.
You're new.
I
This
am
is your first
new.
year.
Yes, I am so excited. This is my first year for the Super Bowl, for thread events, and off the field fashion shows. So I'm so excited.
Welcome.
Thank you. They've been doing this for 23 years,
Yes.
and so just to be here, I'm like, oh, let's get it, let's go.
Yes.
So I'm so excited.
So how did you kind of find this little world within the NFL? Thread, off the field. Can you take us through that a little
Yeah,
bit?
so my husband played. His name is Barry Richardson. He played 6 years for Kansas City Chiefs, St. Louis Rams, where we met Detroit Lions and Tennessee Titans. And so I honestly, when we traveled, and you know how it is, you're traveling, you're going through the motions, and you're like, I need community. And so I literally Googled initially.
I love
and then I'm
that.
like, you just can't just jump into the organization and hey, hi, I'm here. What I ended up doing is finding one of the ladies. Actually, she's here today. First, Ashley Brown was amazing. She's the founder of Off the Field.
Love
and
her,
so, and so she was like, Asia, you need to find Kelly Davis. She's the ins and outs of Charlotte wives. And so once I met Kelly, she introduced me to her mom, who became my nanny. And then it was like this whole world opened
I
up.
love
And then I
that.
learned about all the NFL wives and all of that. Because when we were younger, it was just I was just focusing on the kids. I wasn't really trying to, connect with the wives. But then I'm just like, okay, it's time. It's time.
Right.
And so now I'm here.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, and so what do you do with the organization?
Oh, I am initially I started off as a board member, as a strategic planning board member, and then I created the board plan, and in the plan they were like, well, Asia, we should hire you to do this
I love
work,
that.
because I was sharing we're going in a different direction and becoming a long-term or a year-round organization instead of just for the events, from fashion show to conference. We're doing other initiatives to help the wives, from educational initiatives, health initiatives, and mentorship. And so I'm so excited about rolling off these different initiatives year-round and partnering with the NFLPA in different cities. So I'm so I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
No, that's wonderful. You can feel it. I mean,
You can feel
wonderful.
the energy?
Yes.
I'm really excited just to see again, this has been an amazing organization for 23 years of sisterhood, charity, family, faith, and just uplifting each other and just seeing how everyone is supporting each other. And so now it's a lot of new board members. They're bringing in younger, young blood to keep the motor going. And so we're here and we're so excited to do really great things and to expound upon what they already created.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'll see you tomorrow. Are you walking tomorrow?
I am not walking. Once they introduce the executive director, I'm gonna wave. I'm kind of not that. I'm not the person that wants to walk and do that. I'm like, just hey,
you just wave.
You just wave, like And maybe someday, but not right now.
Okay, I love it. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, though.
Yes, I'll see you.
Thank you for
so
joining
much.
YNS Live with NFL Thread. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Catch Candace.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh my God, so good. I mean, so good to see you.
I see you all the time, though.
I know.
We're Instagram friends.
I know, we are.
That's the reality, right?
It's so true. I know what you're doing. You're all over. I mean, you are doing so much awesome stuff.
Man.
Do you want to take us through a little bit of that, or are we going to go right? Yeah,
sure. Just a little bit. I mean, so last time I saw you, I was running a track club, which I'm still doing, which is near and dear to my heart because I got a full ride scholarship, got my first pair of spikes out of the lost and found, and just like the young lady Brittany was talking about, I was the kid that needed to not be in trouble. Right. So I was so thankful for that. And then I've taken on football, which has been great. I coach at the #1 football team in Michigan, top 25 in the United States. We have the #1 quarterback in the country, Bryce Underwood. He has decided to be an LSU Tiger, and it has been incredible being able to incorporate my passion for athlete development, my knowledge of football, my knowledge of speed, conditioning, and injury prevention, something that we know is it's a touchy subject when we get to the NFL, so I enjoy it, and I have young men that think I'm cool. So #winning.
Right. I mean, amazing. And you're playing in the game.
Oh,
the flag game.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
so
you're gonna be such a rock
What's
star.
cool about that is, as my athletes, I'll shout them out, but they were able to train me. So teaching me about how a DB backs up and how he opens his hips, which was great for me because I care about their body and motion. So today I'm gonna get a little taste of what they do and let them know that they coach still got it.
You totally do. And people can follow you and find you at Catch Candace.
Catch Candace, that's the Instagram. I do a little sports commentating, and yeah.
And the family's good?
Family's good. My broke best friend, my daughter, is incredible. She will be here today. And my son is a straight dog. He's going to play in the youth game. And then I got a young one, Bruin, who's still trying to figure out, is he the baby or whatever. So we made this one a family affair. Vegas doesn't seem as family friendly, but there's so many things. My family was able to come from California, and we've made this a family event. So they're going to see their mom show out. I'm like, I don't just bust dishes. So good. I got this.
And you guys, this will be live. So you guys can watch this and watch her. I mean, you're going to be...
And you're going to be the sideline reporter.
Yeah, so you have to make sure you come over and talk.
After the touchdown, I'll be like, where's my girl Ju? Juju, where you at? Juju on the beat.
Yes. Oh my God, so good to see you. Oh my God. Okay, I can't wait.
Follow your girl, Catch Candace.
Yes. You guys, thank you for joining again. YNS Live with NFL Thread. You guys got to follow what she's doing because she is bringing it.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. I am Juliette Hahn, and I'm going to take you through our sponsors once again. Thank you guys for sponsoring the YNS Live with NFL Thread live podcast. XOXO Gina, Rocket Mortgage, Waterloo, John Hardy. We have UBS, Body Armor. Off the field, thank you for always supporting NFL Thread. We have 21 Seeds. You guys have heard some of these in the beginning. If you have not, go back. You can hear some of these stories. We have Burn Factory, and we also have, did I say John Hardy? Did I say all of them? I feel like I have. Oh, and Shutterstock. Shutterstock, thank you always for bringing the amazing photographers. And we have 21 Seeds and Waterloo. I believe I said those, but I'm going to say them again. Thank you guys for supporting us, Body Armor. And we have Erica here. Yes. Thank you for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So again, I mean, you're here. Just give us a little bit about why you're here and why this event means so much to you.
Yeah. I'm Erica McLeod, just starting that off again.
Yes.
My husband just finished his 12th season, so we're going into year 13.
Wow.
And I'm already on that cusp. It's like, what happens next? So when I met Cynthia, even it was like, you feel young and you're kind of going through the motion. And I played in the flag football when we were here for the Super Bowl, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
But now it's just a time for us at like that other side of things. It's to connect with everyone else and meet individuals and what is our life after, football on the field. That there's so much more of it. So as cheesy as it is, off the field, what are we doing?
Right. But it's so important that you guys have that community because we talk about this on the podcast, but also in life. I mean, when that next stage happens, it doesn't matter how much you've prepared for it, how strong your relationship is, how much your heads are on your shoulder. You're gonna go through stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because this is what he has loved. This is what you have loved.
Yes.
You've been there supporting him, and so the fact that you can talk about it, have stories, is the important thing.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible thing. I mean, I left him, so we separated at this point, and so that's like a big thing. That's growth. That's aging, right?
Right.
And he's doing his own like broadcast stuff, and I'm here connecting with the woman because forever you're just behind the scenes for them, and I'm like, there's some incredible women doing really great things out here. It's just a matter of meeting them.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you. So can you take us through a little bit about what else that you do?
Yeah.
Please.
So my husband and I started a foundation, Change Our Future Foundation. We started in the midst of the pandemic. It's a youth development organization, all based on really providing opportunities and experiences to kids that look just like us. So whether that's through leadership opportunities, mentorship, I just started my STEM program. It's just allowing them to dream really big and then giving them hopes that there's someone who is willing to pull them along and get them there. So
I love that.
All based out of Philly right now.
Philly?
Yeah, it's wherever he's played so far that will bring a little bit of it there.
Yeah.
But that's been our roots. We planted it in Philly.
I love that. I love that. Where can people find you?
You can find us on Change Our Future Fund or me, E. Lee, 413XOXO. For things we're posting about the foundation, ways for you to volunteer, support. And if we're in New York City, I think it's even better because what's better than partnering with someone else that's doing good work and working together, especially for the kids. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again for joining. And
Thank
so good
you
to
for
see
having
you.
me.
So good to see you. Welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. We are here live from Vegas at Flanker, and I have my next guest,
Misty Jones. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, thank you. And I know I've met you, or we have not met in person.
We have.
Yes,
I'm a repeat offender here for Super Bowl. So I've done the off the field football, wives flag football game.
Yes.
The fashion show. So yeah, we've crossed paths a couple times.
Yes, we have. And as I was going to say, I know there's so many people that we see, but I'm like, I know I've definitely met you. Now, were you at in Arizona last year?
I did not.
You did not. Okay,
Arizona.
yes.
Yeah, I missed Arizona.
But I saw you the year before.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what brings you to the events, what they mean to you.
This event means a lot to me because it gives me the opportunity to network with like-minded women. And I'm so thankful for Cynthia for putting this organization, or the thread together, to put us all in front of each other and give us a great platform to like I said, network and make things happen that you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to do.
Yes. And I mean, the thing is, we talk about this all the time about the community aspect of the Thread events.
Absolutely.
And off the field. And it is so important to connect with like-minded women, as you said.
Absolutely.
But then the networking, what are you doing? How can we help each other? Where are you in stage? Are you having a rough time? Are you connecting? What's going on in your life is so important.
It is.
And the fact that there are organizations out there like this that sometimes people don't realize that are out there that they can connect with and do it. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I came across this organization because my husband retired from the NFL. He's a former Chiefs, so go Chiefs, as well as a Houston Texan. So I wanted my own identity, not just to be his wife, but to stand alone with other women, because you kind of get lost in the shuffle sometimes.
You do.
And so I met the Off the Field Wives ladies when they came to Houston for the Houston Super Bowl, and we've been locked in ever since. So that was since 2017.
Wow. And
when the opportunity presented itself this year, I wanted to put some things that I'm doing in the bag to get some. Like I said, I wanted to put some items in the bag for a new venture that I've started, and it's called Kipipeo Skincare. Kipipeo is the Swahili name for butterfly.
Wonderful.
Butterflies mean a lot to me. I lost my mom in 2018 after the Super Bowl went off. My mom transitioned, and prior to that, she kept saying she saw butterflies. She never made it to Africa, so it kind of all tied in, and I decided to launch this weekend.
Nice,
so
congratulations.
I put items in the bag for the ladies for the thread to give them an opportunity to experience what Kipipeo is for your skin, as well as what it means to me. So I just wanted to stop by and share that with you.
Yes, thank you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on social media. Me personally, I'm so Misty Blue on Instagram, and the skincare line is Kipipeo Skin on Instagram as well.
Welcome. Well, thank you so much for joining YNS Live with
Absolutely.
NFL Thread.
It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.